Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Nick, and I'm happy to announce that I'm officially 1 year sober of THC, and I'm really proud of myself for making it this far. In this past year, I've had a lot of realizations and takeaways from being sober, so I just want to share those realizations with you guys today. Just for some background, I took my last edible in June 2024. It started off as a test of trying to see if I could pass a drug test, and then I was just like, let me just see how long I could go without it. And I smoked on and off for 4 years, starting in 2020, and I started at the age of 22. And yeah, I just realized it wasn't serving me anymore. I'm excited to share some of the things that I've learned, and maybe it'll help you out too. So one thing I learned is that not smoking is doing the work, because there's no distractions out there, there's nothing to escape to. The wall is just lifted and you have to face yourself more. So I have been able to access emotions I wasn't able to previously. I've been able to cry again, which is really big for me. I hadn't been able to cry properly since I was like age 14. So not smoking is a great way to tap back into your emotions. Another thing is, contrary to popular belief, sobriety isn't boring. You actually get a natural high from life anyway. And it's funny because this is how we felt when we were kids. We didn't need anything to be happy. We would go out and play in the street, or we would play video games or talk to friends on the phone. Like, we just found stuff to keep us busy, to keep us happy. We played with our toys. So you kind of find a natural joy in life again. As you become clearer, you start to tap in more with the things that you actually want to do. And after a while of not smoking, you start to not even miss it. I had to force myself to remember the last time I consumed any THC, because after a while you just start to not think about it. Now, I'm not perfect, so of course you can find other things to fill that void. Social media is a big one, junk food, drinking for some people, and that just goes to show, drugs just give you a fleeting sense of satisfaction, and in order to have true inner happiness, you can't have any dependence on any substance. While I believe cannabis will always be a great natural herbal medicine alternative for anxiety patients, therapy patients, cancer patients, I don't think it gets used for that purpose a lot. I think it gets more used for recreational purposes, and people just do it to get high. It can be a tool for healing, but I just think it gets misused and overused. And honestly, I think THC or weed just gets a pass in today's society. If you smoke, then it's already accepted, and it's cool. There's worse things to be addicted to, of course. I'm not anti-THC, but I do think that it suppresses your emotions in one way or another. Another thing is that the anxiety or the paranoia that THC or weed brings you, I think that doesn't get talked about enough, and it gets pushed under the rug. When your body gets used to being high and up all the time, that means the lows and the come downs are going to hit a lot harder, especially when you're always making this like your standard, because eventually this will just come down to a homeostasis. It'll just be your regular thing, and then that is where the anxiety starts to creep in. In fact, all of my panic attacks have always been after I smoked weed. In fact, I went to the emergency room on 420 because I was convinced something was wrong with me, and I was mad at the doctor. Turns out nothing happened. I thought I burst an organ or something, but I was completely fine. So it does make you spiral and paranoid. That was one of the reasons I had to eventually give it up. And not only that, the brain fog that we get from it, the bad decisions we make when we're high, especially eating a ton of munchies, a ton of junk food, and not to mention, guys, the coughing. I get it, it's cool if you smoke, chill, do your thing, you're not hurting nobody, you're not hurting yourself too much. If you're coughing your lungs out every time you smoke, especially if you're around other people and I don't know, you just cough all the time, is it really worth it? I mean, that's just on par with cigarette smoking, just kind of being miserable. I've never gotten to that point, but I can't imagine it's a pleasant feeling, the coughing. Which brings me to my next point, and it's that if you don't have a good why behind consuming THC, then you should probably think twice about why you do it in the first place. One of the biggest benefits is that this past year was one of the slowest years of my life. Life has just gone so slow. Moments just aren't as fleeting. I'm not smoking the day away. The day doesn't just fly by, and therefore, ever since June 2024, it feels like it's been 5 years or something. So 2020 to 2024, those years just flew by. when you're slowing down and you're not escaping your reality in any way, somehow time just slows down. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, create a life that you don't feel the need to distract yourself from. And all that being said, in the past year, I feel like I've been living a pretty exciting life. And as you guys know, I live an exciting, crazy, nomadic, adventurous life. And so, yes, that has helped out a lot in giving me lots of highs, not without its lows, of course. I've been able to process things and feel these emotions in a more raw way, I would say. In a way, things have also been harder. It's not like all just great and I'm super clear. It's definitely not like that. If anything, the veil is lifted and you have to face yourself even more. But just bringing it back, we should all be living a life that we're just all excited about, can't wait for the next moment, can't wait to do that thing that we want. And sometimes I feel like THC weed can hold us back from that in certain ways, especially with not being motivated, with fueling our anxiety and depression. So I don't think that part is talked about enough. And lastly, I feel like surrounding my life with new experiences has been integral to keeping me on to the next thing, excited for the next thing, and not feeling too stagnant in life. And when you get stagnant, you start to fall back into bad habits, smoking, just kind of staying in the same cycle over and over. So I would say pursuing new experiences would really help out the next person, and just mastering your self-discipline. A lot of people reach out to me and they're like, oh man, like I wish I could do what you're doing, like I really want to give up, I'm really trying, but it's really hard. And honestly, I just say, like, keep going, keep quitting till you quit. And it is a journey, but it is totally worth it. And at a point, if you see that it's just not serving you in some ways anymore, your motivation will be a lot more stronger and a lot more solid. And then that's where the true change happens. You can't really force yourself. I feel like it really has to come from within, and you have to really just be sick and tired of it. So my closing thoughts is that, like, I don't hate on weed, I'm not anti-THC, and in fact, all love to my people who still do it. It's brought me profound realizations in my life. It's helped me tap into my flow as a dancer, and I've learned a lot through it. And I'm not even saying that I'll never even do it again, but I definitely know there's no inherent human need to survive with it. The same way we don't need a juicy cheeseburger every single day. It's just a fleeting sensation. I think sobriety is just never a wrong answer, and I think sobriety is underrated, and it's so powerful. So we'll see how much longer I go. I have no desire to really go back to it at the moment. We'll see if that changes. The only thing I could think of is maybe to tap back into my flow with my dance. I did really tap in with it, so into my creative side. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't have anything figured out. I'm not like a better person or anything. We're just all on our own journeys. Do I have clarity? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I am a little more tapped into my emotions, and there isn't just this fog that's over my daily life. I kind of just tell people I feel normal when they ask how I feel. I just don't feel the need to add anything to the moment to bring me more happiness. I do encourage sobriety for a lot of people. I feel like sobriety is the true answer. I will say I do like CBD more. I like that it's not psychoactive and you still get the benefits of cannabis, and I do kind of miss CBD in that way. Who knows, maybe I'll try that one day. So it really was a journey, and I just realized ways it wasn't serving me anymore, and this is ways I've also observed it doesn't help others as well. So I hope this reaches somebody and helps out, and if it does resonate, feel free to leave a comment, or just let me know what you think. Even if you have opposing opinions in the comments, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. I feel like this isn't talked about enough. If anybody wants to chime in about their experience trying to get sober, hit me up. I'm always here. I got you. I always have advice for days. And if you're struggling, just know that it is possible to conquer this addiction you may have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.